Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Pathways presentation on online job searching and applications. You are hosted today by two of our employment specialists, myself, Laurie Rintoul, and my dear colleague, Becky Strong. Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
So most of you probably know us from Pathways, but if you're not a Pathways client, welcome to our presentation, and you are most welcome to watch and follow along. So we're going to start with our presentation, and then at the end, Becky's going to take us through some of the websites that you might be wondering about how to navigate around. So first of all, I just want to plug our Facebook and Instagram. Please follow us on both Facebook and Instagram if you're a social media person. There's lots of important information coming out there all the time, and that's the quickest way for you to see the links to our weekly Zoom sessions. So every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, we are doing a Zoom of one topic or another. The employment specialists are putting together new curriculum all the time, and things that are more relevant, such as this Wednesday, June, what is it going to be, the 3rd? June 3rd, Sandy and Harvey are going to be doing a whole session on video interviewing, which is a very timely topic right now. So we will get over to the presentation now and get started. I just have to, okay. Bear with me for 1 second while I do my screen share. Can you see that, Becky?
I sure can.
Okay,
Bear with us, everyone, because this is new to us, so we're trying to act like we know what we're doing, but not so much all the time, so we're learning just like you.
Okay. So we used to be able to look in a paper years ago for jobs. I remember poring over the Toronto Star classifieds, and there would be hundreds of jobs in there. Now, not so much. People are not really using the newspaper anymore. Sitting with a sign saying you're looking for a job might work once in a while, but it's probably not the most effective way. And certainly making a paper airplane out of your resume, not the most ideal way to look for a job. Nowadays, we pretty much have to look online. And so if you're not comfortable with looking online, you need to get comfortable, because that's unfortunately or fortunately the way things are going. So one of our favorite sites that we like to recommend to people is workforcedevelopment.ca. So this is a site that was started by the London Economic Development Corporation, specifically to help people in the area look for jobs without having to go to a whole bunch of different sites. So what it does is it pulls job postings from other websites. So if you are hitting this site, workforcedevelopment.ca, you're getting the majority of what jobs are out there. So there may be a few more outliers, but most of them are getting covered on this site. Other sites that we like nighthunter.com. That's a London specific site. It only has jobs in London. Indeed.ca is another really good one. Indeed is another site that pulls from other sites. So between Workforce Development and Indeed, you are likely to see some duplication of jobs, but that's okay. Sometimes you see one on one of the sites that's not on the other site. And then the Job Bank, jobbank.gc.ca. That's the official Government of Canada website for job searching. So, but not only government jobs on there, so lots of other jobs on there as well. And again, I believe all the jobs from Job Bank generally get pulled into Workforce Development, but it is never a bad idea to check all these sites, and I really do recommend keeping an eye on all of them. Choose your favorite one and use it every day, and then the other ones check every couple of days would be my recommendation. So there's other sites that we also enjoy. Eluda.ca is good, particularly for office work. Wow Jobs, you know, sometimes it's great, sometimes not so much, it just varies. And then LinkedIn, if you're a regular user of LinkedIn, LinkedIn can be a really good spot to look for jobs as well. Sometimes there's jobs on there that are not posted anywhere else. And obviously the company's own websites as well are a great place to look, because sometimes companies are in the fortunate position that they don't have to work that hard to get people, because people are eager to work there, and all they have to do is post it on their website, and they know they've got enough people watching their site that they're going to get the applications that they need. So those are basically our suggestions. Now, all of these sites are going to offer you, oh, sign up for email alerts and we'll let you know when the jobs you want are available. That's okay. Sign up for their email if you want, but don't rely on that to be the only information you get from that site. You still need to go on the site every day and check it out. The reason why is because those email alerts that you get, you're getting because the company paid to have that alert sent. It's like an extra feature when they pay to post their job. It's not because those are all the jobs that are available in that area for you. So even if you get that email every day and it's just a little reminder for you to go to their site, great. But don't rely on that to be the only source of information that you're getting. So when you're searching on websites, it's really tempting to type in the exact job you want and hope that it's going to come up. But the tricky part is a lot of companies use a lot of different phrases to describe the same or very similar jobs. So if you take the case of a forklift operator, it may say forklift operator, it may say warehouse associate, it may say material handler. There's a number, lots of different names that they call the same job. And you don't want to miss out on all the jobs that say material handler because you typed in forklift operator. The search engines on these sites are not that sophisticated to be able to pull out every job that has the word forklift in it, for example. This is just an example. It applies to every field equally. Administrative assistant is another very tricky one. So you type in admin, you're going to get jobs that maybe have the name admin in their job title, but every job that says office manager, receptionist, assistant to the president, executive assistant, you're missing all of those. So for that reason, I recommend you do not put any search terms in when you're looking on these websites. Just scroll down through the jobs they have. There really aren't so many that it's overwhelming because we live in a moderate sized city, so it's not too bad. And if we lived in Toronto, we might have to take a different approach. But if you're looking for work in London, Ontario, there's not so many jobs out there that you can't just scroll down through them and see which ones you'd like to look into further. So we recommend being very, very cautious if you're using sites like Kijiji, Facebook Marketplace, or Craigslist to look for work. There are a lot of jobs on Kijiji and Facebook for that matter. There are a lot of jobs on there. Some of them are real and some of them aren't real. So we've had people, and it's been more than a couple people who've come to us and said, I got this job on Kijiji working for this guy doing, it tends to be labor type work where this scam happens, but people will go and do whatever work it is for 2-3 weeks. And then all of a sudden the boss disappears and the person never gets paid. And you're now into a whole mess with OW because they thought you were working. You didn't get paid. You don't have a pay stub to show them. And then it gets into a case of you having to prove that you didn't get paid. It is a nightmare. So please, please be really careful if you're using these type of sites. Make sure that you're working for a company, a reputable company with a name that you can recognize and Google. If it's just some guy who needs help unloading trucks or something, I would recommend staying away from those types of positions. So when you go to apply online, you're going to want to have some things ready, because otherwise you'll be halfway through your online application and you'll have to run and go get your other materials. So you want to have your resume ready to roll, a base resume anyway. A lot of times you're going to tweak your resume for different jobs, but you want to have your base resume ready to roll in electronic form. You want to have, again, a cover letter base. You're not going to send the exact same cover letter. That's a whole other session that Sandy and Harvey did last week on cover letters, so I encourage you to watch that as well. But you're not going to send your same cover letter to multiple companies. So what you want to do is make sure that you have a base cover letter, but always you're going to be tweaking it for each application. Any transcripts you have that are relevant. So if you have your high school transcript or your college or university transcript, you may want to have that scanned in. Some companies want you to send that in right away with your application. If you have you know, transcripts of certifications, of first aid, of working at heights, those types of things. If you are a member of a registered college, like the College of ECEs or something of that nature, you're going to want to have that registration scanned in if that's relevant to your job search. Whatever certificates, you know your own situation, whatever certificates do you think they may want to see, you're going to want to have those ready and scanned in electronic form. And then your references, I would have those typed up and ready and have spoken to my references and said, you know, I am going to be applying for some jobs. Is it okay to use you as a reference? And, you know, you may get a phone call. So that your references have you fresh in their mind and you have their information all typed up and ready. Because again, it's not often, but sometimes in online applications, they want you to put your references in right away. And that'll hold up the process if you don't have everything ready. So once you've got that all ready, you're going to review the job description in great detail before you apply. So I always say you have to be a job description detective. You've got to look for keywords and qualifications that are in that job description, particularly if they're repeated in the job description. You want those to appear in your resume. Now, a lot of times, especially with larger companies, they're using software or different types of AI to decipher your application. So they're going through everything in your resume and cover letter and looking for words that they have entered. We don't know what those words are, but you can take a pretty good guess based on the job description. They're looking for those words. And if those words don't appear in your resume or cover letter, you're not getting a call, you're not getting an interview. So you really want to be careful when you review that job description, okay? And very, very important, please double check all your contact information. Even if you're sure it's right, just double check it. It takes a second and then you know for sure that it was correct. Can't tell you, hey, Becky, I'm sure you would agree on this, how many times clients come to us and say, I sent out all these applications and then I realized my phone number was wrong.
The other problem that they have is they have an old phone number that they just don't realize is not connected anymore. And so there isn't an option to get a hold of them. And that also brings into play the email that you have on your resume. You need to make sure you're checking it because some employers will only use that as a form of contacting you. So if you're not checking it, then you're going to miss that as well.
Yeah. The email is really important, and checking it on a daily basis or a couple times a day during the period that you're applying for work. It's really important. So is the job going to be a good fit for me? Am I qualified? You want to look at this first of all. Do I have 60 or 70% of the things they're asking for? And if you don't, then maybe consider not applying. But if you have 60 or 70%, you're good to go. You do not need to have 100% of the things they're listing. It's a wish list. If they get somebody with 70%, they're probably doing pretty well. So if you have most of the things they're asking for, maybe there's one or two things you don't have, I would say apply anyway. It can't hurt anything. Next consideration, can I get there? Is it bus accessible if I ride the bus? Can I bike there? Can I walk there? Can I drive there? Where is it? Check on a map, look up where the place is. Do the hours work for me? If it says in the job description what the hours are, can I work those hours? Can I get there at that time that they want me to start? Because there's no point applying if you can't. Is this a job I physically can do? If it says that you have to be able to lift 50 pounds or 20 pounds or whatever it is, can you do that repeatedly over and over all day long? And do I actually know what this company does? Is this something I am interested in doing? How do I feel about what this company does? Sandy always uses the example of, you know, if you're a vegetarian, you may not want to work at Cargill, which is a meat processor. And if you didn't know that, you could apply and waste all your time applying and go through the interview process and then be like, eesh, I don't think I could really work here. I'm a vegetarian. So there's a lot of considerations of that nature as well. So all these things. And then here's a sample job description we'll just go through. This is for Cops Bildall, which is a London company. So if we look through this, on the next screen, I'm going to have some color coding. It's a very short job description. It's a good example of where they're giving us some clues as to what we should put in our cover letter or resume. So the red parts are actual information about the employer. It's family owned and operated. They indicate that they're part of the London community. They say where they are on York Street, which is interesting, and COPS is an equal opportunity employer. So we know something about this company already. They want us to know they're family owned and operated. This is important information for us as we're writing our letter. Now the blue are some of the hard skills they're looking for. So it's a part-time job, first of all. Do I want a part-time job? You know, you never know, part-time job could always lead to full-time. They want you to have some knowledge of building materials. Heavy lifting may be required. Forklift experience would be an asset. Must be available days, evenings, and weekends. So if I'm going to apply for this job, I need to be available to work days, evenings, and weekends. And if I'm not available those times, then this might not be the job for me. So if I'm interested in a part-time job and I have some knowledge of building materials and I can do heavy lifting and I have a forklift license or some experience, this is a great opportunity for me. Where it says forklift experience would be an asset, just to explain what that means, because sometimes I run into clients who aren't sure what that means. An asset means it would be great if you had it, but it's not the only thing that matters. So they're putting down asset saying, we hope you know, we're looking for somebody who ideally has this, but we'll be okay if you don't. So that's kind of what they're getting at there. And then finally, the soft skills or the people skills that they're looking for in green, they have customer service and customer focus both written in this very short job description. Customer service is obviously important to this company. So when applying, you want to indicate any customer service experience you have in your resume, and you want to make sure to mention in your cover letter as well. So in a cover letter for this job, I would be talking about living in London, loving London, you know, enjoying the London community. If I have any volunteer experience, I might mention that, as it seems like this company is involved in the community. And then I would also be talking about my customer service experience, because that seems to be very important to them, as well as the hard skills. You know, if you're physically fit, you know, and able to do the job and have the forklift experience. So that's kind of how I suggest you break down every job description. You can use highlighters or underlines or circles or whatever you want to do. Print it off if you can, and then go through it and mark it up and remember the things that you want to include in your resume and cover letter. And the more times you do this, it becomes very quick once you get used to it. But really looking for those repeated phrases or repeated words that are going to tell me what they are going to be looking for. So if the job description asks for a cover letter, you got to include one, but I would recommend including one anyway. It's an opportunity to tell them more about yourself, to show that you've taken a little bit of time to work through your application. You didn't just, you know, throw them off the same old resume you send everybody else. You took a little bit of time to really customize it and get it ready. Check for a recruiter's name in the job description, and if there isn't one there, then call the company or check online and find out who their HR manager is. Even if you put the president's name, it's better than sending it to, you know, dear hiring manager or to whom it may concern. You should just never ever do that. A company will be happy to tell you the name of who's doing the hiring for the position if you give them a call. Read through the entire job description from start to finish. Sometimes there are funny little instructions about how they want the file named, or how they you know, want you to send, you know, sometimes they want one document, they want a cover letter and resume, but they want it as one document. Be really, really careful of your spelling, grammar, punctuation, upper and lowercase letters, all of that. Have somebody else proofread it for you if you can, because you do want everything to be perfect in your application. Some recruiters are just that kind of people that, you know, if there's a spelling mistake or a grammatical mistake, they'll just toss your application. So you really want to work hard on making sure that there aren't any. So if you want to combine your cover letter and resume into one document, what I suggest is write your cover letter, it should always fit on one page, and then copy and paste the content of your resume onto the second and third pages of your cover letter document, so that when they open it, it'll be cover letter and then resume right afterwards. And you can do a save as and save that as whatever the name of the company is, or however they want you to name the file, depending on whether they've given you those instructions or not.
Laurie, can I add in one thing here too? One thing that you want to make sure that you take the time to do is, even though sometimes the applications ask you to input information, you always have the option of uploading your resume. So places like Indeed, they tend to generate the information that you would input onto their job posting, and they spit it out in a fashion that's just not very user-friendly. It doesn't look professional. It doesn't come across the way you think it's going to. So you can answer the field, put in the information that it's asking for, but always make sure that you upload your resume, because they are going to receive it in the way that you intended. Sometimes Indeed will spit out a format that doesn't look very organized or professional. So always make sure that you have a copy of your resume to upload, and don't just base your application on answering a few questions that they may pose in the job description.
Yes, and if you have the capability to do it, I also would suggest having that resume in the form of a PDF to upload. A PDF won't get changed if you upload it and they download it on their end. It'll stay exactly the same. If you upload a Word document, there's no knowing what it's going to look like on the other end. Sometimes they get corrupted, sometimes they end up losing their formatting. So if you can figure out how to do it, I highly recommend using a PDF when you're uploading your resume. So we are always here to help you guys. Even right now, while we're working from home, we're available during regular office hours by phone or email, and we're here to help. So if you want us to review a cover letter and resume for you, have a look over something, have a look at a job description and see whether you think, you know, it's a good one for you, a good fit for you, we're very happy to do that. Just let us know, reach out to us, and we're certainly happy to help with that. So now we're going to switch over to Becky, and she's going to take us through some of the popular websites that we see, some examples, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay, so Laurie, you'll have to...
I have to unscreen share here, yeah.
Okay. You need to let me screen share, Miss Laurie.
Oh, how do I do that?
I don't know. It said the host disabled it. So maybe if you...
Okay, go ahead, Becky.
Okay, so we're going to go through a few of the websites that you'll be looking at for jobs. So the first one here that I'm looking at is the workforcedevelopment.ca. So this is the one that Laurie was talking about, how they will bring in all of the different job postings from different websites and put them all together in one place. So we're just going to walk through this to show you how to navigate your way through it. So when you log on, this is the screen that you're going to come to, and you're going to go under regional job listings. And when you come onto this page, it actually shows that you can specify where you're looking at, because this is all of Middlesex region, St. Thomas, a little bit further. So you're going to go down here into anywhere by region. London is at the top, and then you're going to refine your search. So as you can see here, there's over 2,000 jobs that are listed here for the London region. So you do have the ability to use this search bar up here, which Laurie talked to you about a little bit, in that we caution you to do that simply because if the wording isn't what you think it should be, you will miss some jobs. So let's just go down here and kind of look at these a little bit. You'll see here that this one has been pulled from Indeed. This one has been pulled from Workopolis. So it's pulling in all of the different things. So let's look at this one. So retail cashier. So you can see here, as soon as I go on, this is a job that's been pulled from Indeed, and it gives you the description of what they're looking for. So this is for Pilot Flying J. This down here talks about the ideal candidate. So here's the job requirements. Then it says, click the Apply Now button. So you're going to go back up to the top, and this is where you're going to click on here, and it will take you to their company website. So let's see how far I can get here. Now, you can do some research here. It talks here about what the pilot travel centers are all about, a little bit of information about them, which is always good to know. And let's see here. So you can pick in here what type of job you are looking for. first choice, second choice. So let's go through here. I haven't added any information in yet. So let's go retail cashier. Let's see, I want to be a deli team member if the first option is not available. So this is where I'm not going to put stuff in simply because I don't think that my boss would appreciate me applying for jobs when I'm already working. But this is where you're going to go through and you're going to add in all of your information about yourself. You will probably be prompted a few times to add information, but at the end, make sure you look for the option to upload your resume, because again, these are the fields that they're looking for the information, but you don't know how it's going to be spit out on their end. So yeah, so that would be that one. So we can come back here, same type of thing. When you're first on these websites, give yourself some time to look at them. Don't use the search bar and narrow down your search right away. Even if you spend an hour, the first time that you go on, you want to pay attention to the dates that the jobs were posted. Sometimes they do not get taken off of the website. So something may be posted that's still 30 days old. Probably not as effective as looking for ones that were posted within the last few days or few weeks.
But you want to show them just how to sort by a date? Oh, this one is already sorted by date. Never mind. Sorry. I thought we were on Indeed for a second. Okay.
Okay, well, let's go to Indeed. Let's go to Indeed. Okay, so again, here's Indeed. And it has this search bar, and you can specify, it comes up that you're in London, because I've been using this a bit, and it actually has a navigational tool as well. Now here you have the option to upload your resume so it can be on the Indeed website, but know that if you upload your resume here, you need to be making sure that when you're applying on different websites that you have to again upload your resume here. This is just for Indeed.
Mm-hmm. And anytime you want to customize your resume for a specific job, you'll have to go in and edit it on Indeed as well.
Absolutely. So let's go in here to find jobs. So this is what Laurie was talking about. So at the top here, you can see the date posted, making sure that, you know, if you want something, if you're looking at this regularly, obviously, if you're doing it on a daily basis, you don't need to make sure you upload every job that's still available because you just looked at it the day before. So you can specify the last 24 hours. Here is the prompt that says, you know, let us send you new jobs, which you're very welcome to do, but don't use this as something, as your only tool to find jobs on this website. You can specify how far away you want the job postings to come from. So if you have a car, you're able to travel, that's one thing. But if you're not, if you're within the city, then you may want to adjust how far away from where you are is where the jobs you want to see. So again, let's go through here. Oh, look, here's the exact same job that we saw on Workforce Development for the retail cashier at the Pilot Flying J. So same thing, these will often take you to the websites of the jobs that are being posted. And you can see here that these are the new ones that were just listed within the last probably 24 hours. So fairly similar as Workforce Development, but again, it's good to become familiar with these sites because often, as you can see, jobs will post on various sites, but not all. So you need to make sure that you're taking the time to look. Be a little bit diligent, make sure that you're doing your homework, you're being a little detective, as Laurie says, to be able to make sure that you know what's out there and research the companies. Some of the websites that are a little bit harder to navigate around, we're going to go to London Health Sciences Center. So this is a very popular spot that people would like to be employed at. And so they have a little bit more of an in-depth way of getting to their career section. So when you go onto their website, obviously it gives you all of the options about everything that you want, but the career section here, it gives you, let's see here. We're going to go in here to learn more about the application process. So you can get help to navigate this site by going in here. They're pretty user-friendly as long as you know where to click. That's the hardest part. So these might be a little overwhelming. This is something that we can help you with as well. If there's a position that you've seen posted elsewhere, or you'd like to be able to see what's available on the hospital website, this is something that we can help you with, which is when you can contact one of us. So let's see here. Current opportunities, you can see here on the left-hand side. So you want to look at probably all new jobs. You may have to, at some websites, create a profile, but not this one necessarily. But just be careful that you're looking at all of the different things that you need to do in order for you to be able to apply successfully. So here you've got, you can choose between full-time, part-time, regular, temporary. The employee groups, this is good to know too. Some of the places that you may be applying to are unionized. So you need to research what that means. You need to research the implications or the benefits and the negatives that it might have for you, whether that's something that you want to do or you don't want to do. It's something that you need to be informed about. So again, take some time to kind of look through all of the different aspects of the application process so that you know what you're getting into. So let's go up here. I don't know, the no value one is a little bit of a different category that I haven't seen before. That's probably more of a contract position. So let's see here. So office assistant. So this is in pediatrics. So again, you're going to click on it. Here it is. It talks to you, gives you all of the information that you're going to need to know. So this is a full-time regular job. It has all of the information as far as the department, the qualifications, all of the different things. You can see down here that it actually requires you to provide immunization records, obviously because you're working in a hospital. So this is something that you're going to need to know. You need to provide vaccination reports, documentations of skin testing, that sort of thing. So these are something that you need to make sure that you have before you apply for this job, because you'd hate to go through the process and then realize, oh dear, I don't have everything that I need. So take the time to look at the job posting in detail. If you want to apply, you're going to go up here to apply to the job. This is where you're going to have to create a profile, which I'm not going to do. But this is something where this is one of their steps to be able to apply for that position. So just make sure that you have all of the information ready so that you can do this process quickly, and that you feel organized and you have everything that you need at your fingertips. Okay, we looked at Indeed. The other one was St. Joe's. There was a question that was brought forward with our clients because this is also part of the hospital system of London, but St. Joe's actually has their own website as far as being able to apply through it. So if you go onto their website, you can see at the top here, it has the careers. And again, just take a minute to kind of look through, read through the information that they're giving you. It's fairly self-explanatory. There usually will be a link that you can click on. Welcome guests. So you're wanting to search the job postings. I'm clicking on that. You could have specified, but again, if you hit the go button, you're going to see everything. And so here is where you can take the time to look down and see what's available. If you're clicking on one, that's when the full job description will come up. You want to look at the posting number. They may ask you to reference that when you're actually submitting your application. So taking the time, being really methodical in looking at the details. Once you have clicked on to this posting, you can see here on the side, you can apply, you can email this. Again, they're going to ask you to make up a profile. So it's a couple of steps, but it's fairly user-friendly as long as you take your time to kind of navigate through the site. If you need help with that, that's absolutely something that we can do, because sometimes it is a little overwhelming. There's a lot of information on the screen. Sometimes there's a lot of steps that you need to follow. So if you need assistance with that, that's absolutely something that we can help you with.
Mm-hmm. Great. How about the City of London, Becky?
Oh, we love the City of London.
Our favorite site.
They like to make you click. Okay, so we're going to go to the City of London. Let's see here. Now I'm confused, Laurie. Oh, here we go.
It's down there, yeah.
Down there at the bottom. So again, you had to scroll through all of this. They don't make it very user-friendly, this one. So you're going to go down here. Obviously, they have all the information about the city, and down here at the bottom, which is fairly common if you're looking at a company website, at the very, very bottom, there's usually going to be a careers section.
Mhm.
So we're going to click on here, takes you to another page. It talks about you could be employed with us. So you're going to click on job opportunities. And here's another screen that talks about job opportunities. And it talks about the fact that you can go into casual, you can do co-ops with your schooling, you can go into fire services, but we're just looking for jobs. So we're going to go here, we're going to apply now. And look, here's another screen.
We still don't see any jobs.
We still haven't actually seen what's available. So now we're going to go over here to the current postings, and lo and behold, here we are. So this one, it looks like right now there's a mix of summer as well as year-round, but they are casual, so you need to make sure that you look at that. So let's just look at here for the aquatics for summer instructor. So here we go. So now it talks about what is this job, what are they looking for? It talks about when the date of when it opened, when the position closes. So this is something you want to look at too, because if it hasn't been taken down but the posting is closed, less chance that you're actually going to get seen. They're pretty strict with those types of things. So now you're going to come down here, and they actually don't have a button that the other ones do that makes it really visible. So again, you're going to have to read, go down here to apply now. Oh, they're no longer accepting applications. That was, see if we can try another one.
I bet you that PSW one is probably active.
This one, yeah. Okay, so this is for the Dearness Home. So yes, I would say that this is very active. They're looking for a lot of people. So again, talks about here qualifications. It talks about salary. Again, important instructions. If available, please upload your transcripts with your application under the documents section. So let's go into apply now. Again, it's going to ask you to create a profile. So this is something where you're going to have to go step by step, because as mentioned in the job posting, there is a documents section where they are looking for you to upload information according to what their requirements are. So if I had read that really, really quickly, I would have missed that, and I could possibly have gotten to that spot where I'm ready to upload the documents and I go, oh dear, I don't have that with me. And then you have to go through the process of trying to find what it is that they need.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, again, just taking the time. This one is really hard, I would say, in comparison to others, to get to the information that you're looking for. So don't be discouraged. It's something that we can help you with. Even if you have the ability to do a Zoom call, we can actually walk through the process with you, just like we're doing here on this presentation. There's ways around it. Sometimes this is really difficult for people because before this whole COVID adventure, let's call it, that we're experiencing, they weren't really computer savvy. They really didn't know how to navigate their way on an online presence. That's something that we can help you walk through with technology and kind of step by step. That's something that we can help you with. Mm-hmm. So you just need to reach out and ask. I would hate for anyone to be frustrated and feeling like they didn't have any options simply because they didn't know. So please make sure you feel free to reach out to us so that we can help you with this process.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think is there any other sites, Laurie?
No, I think that's all we wanted to cover. So we do just, again, want to encourage you to check our YouTube channel regularly for new presentations that are on there. We're going to be, for the foreseeable future, doing one every Wednesday at 1 o'clock live on Zoom. If you're interested in doing that, look at our Facebook and Instagram for the invitation to the Zoom meeting. And otherwise, you can find all of these recordings on our YouTube channel. And you're most welcome to view them over and over again, share with friends, whatever you want to do. We are opening these up to the public for the time being, so we're really happy to be able to do that to help out some members of the community. And feel free to reach out to any of the employment specialists at any time. You can call the Main Pathways number, or you can email us at our individual emails. And if you're a client, I'm sure you have those. So thanks so much, everybody. Thanks, Becky. And we will join you soon for another presentation. Bye-bye.